BB851, turn right, heading 180. 14 Papa, turn right 245, report localizer established 27.
The Boeing 737 MAX has certainly been featured here on the channel a lot of late, and that continues today with an update to its current recertification and approval within Canada, who, if you've been keeping a close eye on the channel, have been working on it for some time now with Boeing and various engineers, testers, pilots and more to determine if the changes that Boeing have made as a collective are adequate enough and safe enough to worthy the return to operations for the type. The Canadian Air Safety Regulator yesterday made the announcement that they had completed their very own independent review of the various changes made by Boeing on the series. Regulators have mostly made the decision to review the 737 MAX independently, following findings that emerged that indicated Boeing and the FAA worked closely originally on certifying the type, and maybe too closely, to the point where Boeing was seemingly certifying their own aircraft, hence why certain aspects and faults slipped through the hands of the FAA and led to the two major incidents. The Brazilian Aviation Authority, though, were exempt from this, if you will, and remained highly confident that the type was ready to return to service straight off the bat of the FAA reviewing it. Namely, though, the EASA and, of course, the Canadian Aviation Authority, though, had different opinions on this. In a statement, the Canadian regulator said, "This will include changes to the aircraft software associated with the flight control computer that manages the speed trim system, STS, including the maneuvering augmentation characteristic system, known as MCAS, that were identified as a contributing factor in both incidents. Wire routing changes identified during the review of the aircraft following the grounding and revisions to the aircraft flight manual, which include instructions and information necessary for the flight crew's safe operation of the aircraft." This is in reference to the changes and, of course, what has been focused on by the Canadian regulator when they were reviewing it as a whole. So when could we see the Boeing 737 MAX flying again with Air Canada, WestJet and so on? In 2021 for them. However, within Canada, it'll set to be flying by next month as of the time of recording. Of course, this is subject to change. However, due to the magnitude of changes that have been implemented, like I mentioned just before in that quote, the Canadian regulator wants pilots to undergo thorough training and tests to determine that they do actually understand just what is in front of them at this point. All of this will take place next month, with then carriers conducting their own maintenance checks. You might ask why. Well, after a plane has been grounded for so long, checks need to be conducted and the aircraft needs to be prepped to restart life again with passenger operations. It's a thorough process that, while seem annoying, is actually necessary for the aircraft to eventually get back in the skies with passengers. A plane on the ground for that long can start to dry out, crack up. We could see potentially cracks form. This is something we've seen with other aircraft that have grounded, and it all depends, of course, on the climate. You don't want one of the 737 MAXs to have water damage or heat damage or sun damage. It's something you naturally need to be thorough with when returning it to service. What are your thoughts, though? Do not hesitate to leave them in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for your continued support. Please do take care and stay safe. I will see you all in the next video.